Happy 4th birthday to Voice Box. And just before I get going, I want to say, I know it's been said, and it might sound cliche, but Tim, without events like this, mate, people like us wouldn't get a platform, do you know what I mean?
Talent, please.
Because I would have just written this shit and left it in my drawer. Some would argue it should have stayed there, but tough shit. Anyway. Come on. Okay, I've not written anything for a while. So I put myself under pressure to do some writing, and I asked him for a spot. I've got 2 new ones, and if I've got time, an old one. So this first one is called The Green Man. I first burst into existence over 200 years ago. I fell to earth on a blustery grey autumnal day, and there I lay in the long wet grass of my mother's skin as the seasons began to turn slowly darker. My many siblings lay scattered around me. Some perished and some carried away by beasts, but I alone managed to hide from the prying eyes and the jaws and the frost-tipped claws that ravaged my world. Molecular shiftings gained footholds in the dank mustiness of mulch and mould. Protruding extrusions probed humus infusions, ever extending through dark and confusion until, slowly, the darkness gave way to clearer days. Days when sun and dew and haze met my gaze, and the ultraviolet blaze gave rise to changes in my ways. A photosynthetic wellspring of light courses through vessels of cellulose life. I stretch and breathe and ever expand. For 200 winters, I witness your plans. See, I was there for the battles and the shedding of blood, the gaining of ground, the rope and the hood. I gave you shelter in the fiercest of days, and I've harboured your secrets and murderous ways. As you've rung in the changes, I've stood my ground. Your children have played in me, hidden, then found. The creatures of night gather into my reach, while the creatures of day fall asleep in my breach. With each breath I breathe, I provide you with new. My lungs are your lungs, CO2 for O2. And yet you begin to see me anew. People come, people go. It seems there are few that appreciate my kind and my purpose on earth. And with each revolution and each new birth, there's a changing view towards me and my sort. We begin to hinder your plans and your thoughts. Your sleeper retainers and gaudy gazebos, hewn from my siblings, now replaced with placebos. For you cannot now bear that misplaced hair. You crave for an order that never was there. Regular, schmegular, ordered and neat. No place in your world for oaken feet, except on your tables and patio chairs. For the order of nature you have not a care. For changing of seasons and phases of moon have all been replaced with electrical blooms, and electrical suns now govern our days, and electrical moons force the night to give way. And my clothes that are shed on your astroturfed plot are so inconvenient you're better well shot of that horrible tree that blocks out the light, that's electrically lit by both day and by night. So break out your mauls, grit your teeth and persist. 'Cause the trees must die, every one you insist. It's just too inconvenient raking up all the leaves. Fuck the squirrels, they're just rats, they too can just leave. And the bats and the bees and the owls and the hawks can all just fuck off. It's your right to light after all. And as you approach with your 2-stroke smoke, you're naught but an ignorant savage that gropes. And as the teeth cut deep into me, the centuries past simply cease to be. For you're not just removing that horrible tree, but all of the history embedded in me. Thank you.